Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and the Washington Commanders have made their final selection in the 2024 NFL Draft unless they trade back into it, selecting Notre Dame edge rusher Javontae-Jean Baptiste at number 222nd overall. So, like this comment here says from Liam, the annual 7th round edge rusher. It seems like every year they sign someone or draft someone. I keep saying sign them. I guess technically they sign them as well, but they draft someone, and it was James Smith-Williams, it was Shaka Toney, and I don't know why I'm blanking on who they drafted last year, but they always seem to draft 7th round edge rushers no matter what regime. But this is a solid pick. This is a guy that's projected to go like 6th round, and they get him at the top of the 7th round. Very athletic guy. That seems to be a common theme for the Washington Commanders. It seems like a very common theme. And this is bothering me. Commanders 2023 draft class, just so I can see who it is. I know they drafted 2 edge rushers in the 2023 NFL draft. I just want to see it because this is bothering me. But you can just see this is a good comparison to see what our draft class was last year to see what it is this year. It is much, much better, at least on paper, this year than it was last year. You see Ricky Stromberg, Braden Daniels. Okay, KJ Henry was one. That was in the 7th round. And then we got one in the 7th. I forgot who it was. Andre Jones, who ended up being pretty, had a solid rookie year for us. But another edge rusher. Let's go over his draft profile real quick. 6'5", 240 pounds. Again, projected to go in the 6th round, so solid, value there. Let me go to projected to go 6th round right here, and played at Ohio State and then transferred to Notre Dame. Another guy that was in college in 2018. So this is a guy that you expect him to be able to play at least a little bit right away, just because, again, started college in 2018, didn't really get the production he wanted at Ohio State, and the last year at Ohio State played 13 games, didn't start, had 19 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, transfers, and has 10.5 tackles for loss, which led the team, and 5 sacks, which I assume also led the team, 49 tackles, a PBU, and a forced fumble. We're not going to get into too much with him because it is a 7th round pick, and some of these guys might not even make. Sometimes 7th round picks don't make the roster, but usually they do. You try to keep all your draft picks. After a 5-year run at Ohio State with modest production, Baptiste Notre Dame tape put him in position to become a developmental day 3 draft pick. He has good length but lacks play strength to stack and discard tackles, so he'll need to hit the weights to improve his anchor, but he has footwork and agility to slide off of block, sustain, and make tackles. He's a step slow off the snap, dulling his ability to outrace tackles to the edge, but he flashes the hands and hips to become a more impactful rusher if teams rewire his rush plan. There is still a level of upside available for Jean Baptiste. So you see that right there. They also, again, they have KJ Henry. They got Andre Jones. They signed a lot of guys. So I would say Andre Jones is in trouble, at least to make the actual roster, because you got KJ Henry, who showed promise, and they're probably going to want to keep him. Then you got, Dorrance Armstrong, you got Dante Fowler. What's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? The Clemson edge rusher, Clelin Ferrell, from the 49ers. So a lot of guys that they signed. So it's going to be a very competitive room. Let's go ahead and pull up what the final draft class looks like. I will make a video today or tomorrow, just giving my opinions on it. But here it is: Jaden Daniels, our 1st round pick, 2nd overall. Johnny Newton, probably my least favorite pick, even though it is good value and I somewhat understand it. I still think we could have gone another way there, maybe a tackle. But if Brandon Coleman ends up panning out and he's able to help out right away, then it's totally fine. Mike Sainristil, cornerback, probably my favorite pick. Ben Sinnott, tight end, Kansas State, maybe a little bit of a reach, but I'm trusting that Adam Peters and company, they know how to evaluate tight ends, and he's there when they did, they drafted George Kittle. So I think that's still, I like it, and it's a position need. Brandon Coleman like it. Luke McCaffrey might be my second favorite pick. Then you got Jordan McGee, Dominic Hampton, Javontae-Jean, Baptiste. Solid draft class overall. Made a couple. Well, they made one. I think they made one trade. They made one trade. And yeah, overall, it was a good draft for the Commanders. But again, I think draft grades are very, I'm not going to say, kind of stupid. It's just like, who knows how these guys are going to pan out. And just because, these guys are graded highly by draft analysts, the league could have a different view. And also, they could be really good, but they just get developed terribly or they get injured. So it's just really hard. And yeah, it's just hard to grade right away, but you can kind of grade by their philosophy and how they went about their draft. And I think the Commanders did a good job in this draft, and we'll see in this season and the next coming years how this draft class looks. But first draft class for Adam Peters in the books, and undrafted free agents coming pretty soon. So yeah, appreciate everyone for supporting during the draft. We'll be making an undrafted free agent video. Also, we'll be making a video going over a little bit more in depth all the draft picks as well. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for all the support, and peace.